We're going to begin learning different lessons each week. And for the next 4 weeks, our lesson is going to be revolving nutrition. We're going to be learning about proteins and sleep. So, what are proteins? Basically, proteins are macronutrients. What we think about macronutrients, what I want us to think about is like fats, carbs, and protein. So, let's start with one of the most important ones, which is going to be a protein. Now, proteins are essential for building muscle and repairing the body. So, when we're looking at our protein intake, the way that the biology in our body works is it breaks it down from a protein, taking the amino acids and using them as building blocks to help the tissue repair. Now, I know that when we look at protein, we're always like, hey, how much protein am I going to need? Well, it just really depends. Some people say, gram per body weight, whatever it may be. But most times, what I've seen is it's anywhere from zero point 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram per body weight. That's a lot of math and that's a lot of science. So let's make it easier for ourselves. Anywhere from like 20 to 30% of what you're eating should involve some type of protein base. So, how does protein work? When when your body it takes in protein, it breaks it down from that into amino acids, which is the building blocks of your body, of the tissue. So basically, it breaks it down from this macronutrient into a more subsidized chemical initially of what it is. And then that's what we're looking at is this is how it's repairing us. So why is protein important? Well, it's essential, like I've been saying this entire time, to look at repairing muscle and increasing the size. So when we increase our protein intake, we can initially increase muscle mass as well, and also stimulate recovery quicker. Now, where do we get protein? Here's a list of ideas of where we can get protein, right? We know where to get it from. It's just a matter of finding what you enjoy, right? Could it be steak? Could it be poultry based? Could it be fish based? Dairy based as well, even going into lentils and legumes. Finding your sources of protein vary. They don't have to be super fancy, they don't have to be grass fed, but they should be more on the leaner side. So, less fattier the protein, the more leaner, the better it's going to be for our overall general health. Now, let's pair this protein base with sleeping. Now, why should these two go together? Well, initially, they're both doing the same job, which is helping the body repair itself. So when we focus on nutrition, we need to be pairing that with other areas in our life that's going to improve the overall recovery of what we're doing. So when we look at the importance of sleep, here are the reasons why. It can help us with weight loss. It can help us with repairing the body, helping us feel recharged, fuels brain. Right, the list can go on as to why sleep is important. We know this. But how is better sleep going to help me with my goals? Well, you get more energy throughout the day because you're not as tired. Now, when I say it makes it easier to stick to eating healthy, the reason that is because our brain is recharged. It's feeling fueled and it's ready to do the hard things. And sometimes the hard things are eating broccoli or avoiding fast food. So when we feel re-energized or we feel like we've rested well enough, those difficult decisions are less taxing on our nervous system in order to make that decision. And the other areas that we see improvement with sleep is just again we recover, it relaxes us, and then the biggest thing is just knowing that we are more prepared for the next day. So when it comes to sleep and recovery, typically we want to aim for, oops, I missed it, 6 to 8 hours of good sleep. Now, I've seen a lot of research from podcasts and articles about the appropriate amount of sleep, and it just varies. Some people may adjust accordingly better to 6 hours of sleep, where other people need those additional 2 hours. So finding what works for you and what feels best. And then again, the other benefits is we get to repair the body. And if we repair the body where we're able to recover and allow the body to recover from the previous workout, that allows for our body to rest and recover, which is initially building up for more muscle size, leaner body mass, and it just overall improves the overall ability to move better, feel better, and all these other things that we've been talking about that just coincide together when it comes to recovery. So how do we get better sleep? That's a great question. So avoid late caffeine intake. So don't be drinking coffee at 4 or 6 in the evening expecting to try to get a full night's sleep. Same thing with pop. Some people have said that when it comes to their caffeine intake, no more than or no more after 2 p.m. Just again, you got to know your body. Limiting screen time. So when we're on our phones, on Facebook or Instagrams, that's stimulating us, that's getting our bodies going, or our minds going. So try to avoid that before bed. Be consistent. If your bedtime is typically like 10 o'clock, do your best to get to bed by 10 o'clock. And polar opposite, do your best to be consistent at waking up at the same time, whether it's anywhere from 6 to 8 a.m. or maybe even later in the day. Just be consistent with what you're doing there. And the other things that will allow for you to get better sleep is being in a cold room, avoid eating late, but lastly, upgrading your bed. Maybe it's time for a new mattress. Maybe we need to flip the mattress. Maybe we need to rotate it. Even getting new pillows. Finding things that will assist you in getting a better sleep will definitely do wonders for you and your recovery.